This is my reflection about probably what I'm annoyed with and having conversations about stuff that I don't want to talk about anymore, and conversations that I think we need to start to have to get ahead of the game. So what do we talk too much about? And this is coming to a state or a territory near you. We talk about interventions or suggestions of interventions. So some may be good, some may be bad, but we're trying to fix stuff. Everybody's trying to fix stuff. So we're going to build stuff. So let's do the engineering solution, because we did that a million years ago, so we're going to do it again more. So we're going to have batteries, big batteries, little batteries. We're going to have a battery of the nation. Sorry, they've renamed Tasmania the battery of the nation, so it's not called that anymore, Tassie anymore. We're going to have Snowy 2.0, some tech's come into hydro somehow. We've got solar farms, and the new one is we've got not only solar farms, it's solar thermal farms, because they're good too. We'll have some of them. We'll have some more wind farms. We'll have some capital handouts of solar battery combos to asset-rich households, because that buys a lot of votes or not, I'm not sure, but we'll do that anyway. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to change stuff. We're going to disconnect from the NEM, but no, we're going to reconnect a lot more within the NEM. So I think there's a bit of a policy contradiction there, but we'll give it a go anyway. We're going to have more interconnectors, we're going to re-regulate, we're going to renationalise, and we're going to deregulate and re-privatise, depending on where you are. So we're all over the place in that spot. They all seem like really good ideas in isolation, but I don't know where the big plan here is there, and I don't know where the voice of consumers in there. It seems to be all these other people doing other things for us on our behalf, but doesn't seem to link up. So we're talking too much about that. The blame game. I'm a sociologist, and it is incredibly tribal out there. We're, again, not talking about people, we're talking about clubs. And they're always heroes and villains, and everybody's trying to pitch everybody else as the bad and the good, the green and the brown, you know, the black and the white. So we've got, you know, coal versus gas versus solar versus wind versus batteries, and they all have different and unique values, but sometimes or other they get called good or bad or whatever. But it doesn't also work like that. We can have the dispatchables and non-dispatchables, the intermittents and the reliables. We've got the old versus new, and thanks, Andrew, pointing it out. I am old, so I don't know whether I'm a hero or villain here, but it's not all that binary. We all need each other, a bit like a community. We all need each other working together to optimise the outcome at the lowest cost as we move forward, and we'll get there. We'll get there a hell of a lot quicker at a hell of a lot lower price if we don't try, those tribes, and there's a lot of money in this game, of course, don't try and optimise their position, because at the end of the day, we pay. What don't we talk enough about? I'm really passionate about the dispersion of costs, not within a cost stack for the bill. I mean, yes, that's there and we are talking about it. It's the dispersion of costs between groups and individuals. So with the tariff tracker, you know, you sort of notice non-solar households out there, Dubbo, New South Wales somewhere, all electric, they're paying a lot. Solar households like me, I've got a $100 a quarter bill, and I've got a new solar system, not on any premium feed-ins. I'm laughing my head off. But there's all these costs that I'm not paying now. I've managed to net out my rep costs because I'm not consuming from the grid. I've managed to net out a whole lot of retailer costs, but they're fixed, so they're getting parked off onto other people. So you're starting to get this transfer from groups of households to other groups of households. In the old energy market, we were all very homogenous, so you could have interventions and they would be pretty well spread sort of evenly. That doesn't happen anymore. We've got the energy rich and the energy poor. I'm energy rich. I've got in-home displays, I've got panels on my roof, which has actually improved the capital value of my house by about $15,000. Probably also means it'll sell quicker in the market. So I'm doing really well. Also, I built my wealth on carbon, so I've locked that up and I'm protecting it really good. The energy poor renters, they can't do that. They tend to be younger. So we've got this intergenerational sort of energy problem that's locking up income and wealth and transferring it differently. And that will scale and get worse and more entrenched. So where's the tipping point? If we don't deal with these issues, the energy market starts to collapse and we all go back and we all cost more and we can't moved forward. It even gets more pronounced moving forward. We sort of got, what happens when we bring electric vehicles and batteries to the game? There'll be those that have all those things and there's those that don't. And you start to get that, that'll impact on individuals, It'll impact on communities, and it'll impact on communities' ability to create wealth and employ. So you'll start to see this structural change, which goes back to what Cass was talking about. You know, we've already got inequalities in there, but this then recasts it all again. And remember, every household takes energy, so it does affect us all, and it will affect our communities. Also, it will affect government impacts on revenue, and we need to start to think about that. EVs come through, where's the fuel rebates? There's GST on bills as they come down and the gig economy comes in, the bills will come down. Revenues, GST disappear. So there's revenue implications in here that we need to think about. And do we need to actually have excise in energy because fuel excise is disappearing for our public services? We don't talk enough about well-designed and targeted complementary measures. The energy system seems to be in this state where it actually will do all things for everybody equitably, fairly, righteously. It's not like that. It just can't do all those things. It's complicated enough. Don't make it more complicated. It'll implode and collapse in on itself. So we need to have the complementary measures right, whether that be income security, whether that be concessions arrangements, energy efficiency. We need to be smart about those things. We need to target them so the energy system doesn't do all the heavy lifting and we don't get those unintended consequences that I believe are there and will scale. And then the final one is what we don't talk much about, or maybe we talk too much about, is the role of consumers in this. I mean, I'm getting dragged from pillar to post. Many states, my frequent flyers look amazing at the moment, sick of hotel rooms. You know, but this is all about engagement. You know, oh, we've got to have the consumers, got to be front and centre, but there's only so many things I and all of you can do. What's our expectations? What's the system's expectations on us? Because we're written into laws and codes. What's our accountability? Where's our accountability back to people? Legitimacy, role and functions and all those sorts of things. And I think that they're really important conversations for us as a collective, if you like, to consider and ponder and think moving forward. Thank you very much.